Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Autism and Doctor Who series. Today I'm joined with Harrison, and Harrison is autistic and also loves Doctor Who. So Harrison, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, mate.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you today, Harrison. Would you just like to do the introduction of yourself or say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. My name's Harrison Parker. I am 20 years old, and as you should probably know, I'm autistic.
Yeah, it's we're actually the same age actually. Now Harrison, I know that. So if you want to sort of maybe to talk about like how do you think having autism has a massive part on liking Doctor Who? Do you think?
I think like everyone has their own reason for liking Doctor Who. For me, I'm probably going to say my autism did help encourage it, as the whole fantasy space / reality thing was always intriguing for me, and especially as characters you get attached to, and then it kind of does make people feel like you can relate to a character, as each Doctor is different, and some people can relate to those characters.
Yeah, I completely agree. Is there of course, like you say, you do get attached to a certain character and then they leave.
Yeah.
Is there a certain Doctor or certain character in Doctor Who that you say you relate to the most?
Relate to the most, I would like to say Matt Smith, because he's full of energy, he's comedic. When he's serious, he's scary, but then half the time he's just a bundle of laughs.
Yeah.
So it has to be Matt Smith.
Yeah,
he's also my favourite.
He's your favourite. He's your favourite Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you were sad, when he went, he left.
Well, I burst into tears when he left. Well, my parents can vouch for that. I burst into tears. I cried when Romy and Amy got angeled.
Yeah, that was sad, but
cried for like a whole hour.
but hopefully that they got over all right. They both was together. Hopefully, Amy and Rory.
I think it was confirmed in that episode they were forever together.
Yeah. What about when David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, when he left? Or was you sad with him too?
Oh, I was when I first started watching Doctor Who. David Tennant was the Doctor I was watching at the time. So David Tennant was my first Doctor Who. So of course, he's my second favorite Doctor. I have a very emotional connection with him. And I loved Rose Tyler. I liked Donna. I liked Sarah Jane. Oh, Sarah Jane was amazing. And when he did leave, I actually did cry when he said, "I don't want to go."
Oh, that was sad. Even I cried.
That hit me deep.
Yeah.
Like, I actually cried. But again, believe it or not, when I first saw Matt Smith, I didn't like him because I grew up with David Tennant. Because of that, I was like, no, David Tennant can't change. This is not right. No. But then once he became Matt Smith, and after a couple of episodes, bam, new favorite Doctor.
Yeah, I think it was like that with David Tennant, and Matt Smith. Of course, he was angry because David Tennant was really good, and you didn't think maybe Matt Smith was going to be as good, and then you find out he is, and then I like this one, but. Maybe moving on to Peter Capaldi. What did you think of Peter Capaldi, Harrison?
What don't I think about him?
Yeah.
He is quite good at playing a dark, serious, kind of a jerk Doctor. But again, I just only see him as the guy from Paddington.
Yeah.
But it's quite ironic how he's in one of the Pompeii episodes with David Tennant. That's quite ironic for me.
Yeah.
But again, he is a good Doctor. But again, I never got really attached to him. So once he disappeared, I was like, yes, finally.
Yeah, I
was more emotionally connected to his companions more than anything else.
Yeah, because I think the difference was with Matt Smith and David Tennant, you get attached to them quite quickly. With Peter Capaldi, it took a while. Like for me to get to attach to Capaldi, it was probably his last season. That's not because he was leaving, because I felt like the episodes were better and like the storyline.
To be honest, only ever felt for that character when he went blind. The other times, like, oh my god, what a jerk. Like, my favorite episode out of the entire Doctor Who's franchise is when he goes inside the Dalek. In that series, inside the Dalek, because it does show how he is similar to the Dalek. His hatred towards the Dalek is what the Dalek then had hatred towards other Daleks.
Yeah.
So a good Dalek was still a bad Dalek because of the Doctor's hatred towards them, which was quite bam, just straight in there, like, damn, that hits deep.
So that was your favorite episode, the one where he goes in the Dalek.
As in Capaldi's franchise, yes.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite episode? Maybe not in any of the Doctors. Like, do you have a favorite episode?
I don't have a complete favorite, but I do have a top 5. But I think number one of my top 5 is probably Let's Kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Just because I wonder why no one has actually thought of that episode before then.
Yeah, that was it was funny, wasn't it, when Matt Smith, like, they found out they saved him, and he was like, he's a mistake.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake, mate. And then Roy's like putting Hitler in the cupboard.
Yeah, that was that was a complicated episode, though, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. The fact that I did like how it was River Song's first appearance as River Song.
Yeah.
Like, when she turns into River Song, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing what she's like when she first meets the Doctor. Amazing.
Yeah. And are you still watching Doctor Who with Jodie?
I had kind of stopped because I do like Jodie, but it just does get a bit confusing because I don't feel the whole plot anymore. It kind of lacks the whole motivation. I think it's not to do with her. She's amazing overall. She's amazing. The Master's amazing. But I think overall it's just the stories are lacking a bit of flair, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's...
To be honest, I kind of stopped at Peter Capaldi. I kind of stopped him in one of his last episodes, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be done here.
Yeah, do you feel like music has a massive part in Doctor Who?
Huh?
Did you feel like, because like music's different with Jodie, do you feel like the music's really important when it is in Doctor Who?
I think, the music overall is great. I do like the Doctor. I think what I found quite funny is when Jodie first appeared, the TARDIS rejected her. I burst out laughing, like, seeing her fall down. I'm like, I knew what fans would not like her being like a female Doctor, but even the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with her being a female. Perfectly amazing. I love it. I just think the plot is lacking a lot. Like, again, it's still a good series. I just don't watch it anymore. I think I want the whole series completed. I want it all through. I think that's what I'm trying to wait for.
Yeah. It was quite funny where she fell out the TARDIS. What Harrison? What do you have a favorite companion that you like?
Oh, that's going to be really tricky. I have a top 3, and well, technically I have a top 4, but it's quite complicated. For me, it's always Rose Tyler, number 1. Rose Tyler, number 1. She's the best. Then it is Rory and Amy into one go because they were amazing.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Clara, I love Clara. And then the last one, the last 2, will probably have to be Sarah Jane, as she is a classic character. Like, he was from the Tom Baker series, which is my dad's favorite Doctor Who. So I kind of get that kind of love towards it as well. And then, last but not least, River Song.
River Song, yeah, you gotta love River Song.
Yeah, I love her. Even though she's not in all the episodes, you still love her because you know she doesn't have much time with the Doctor, but you know what the legends will turn out to be. So you're emotionally invested in it because you know that she is the woman that loves the Doctor. But you also know that the first time Doctor Who meets her is the last time she sees him. It just breaks your heart.
It's really nice how they've done that, because they did it in the future with Peter Capaldi's Doctor, and then like the library was her last kind of appearance, really.
Yeah.
So they knew what they were really clever how they done that.
Yeah, that was quite smart. I do like how when she mentioned to David Tennant, you wore your best suit. You came to my doorstep. In that episode, he literally said, "What have you bought in my doorstep?" Like, this is a brand new suit.
Yeah, it is that's really clever how they done that.
Yeah.
Because like that it like I would have liked to see maybe more with David Tennant, like River. It would have been nice.
It does make sense. Doctor Who's first meeting with David Tennant has to be emotional. Of course, he would lose her. It makes sense that the first time he would see her would be the last time she would see him. But it just sucks that it has to be David Tennant that sees her the first time. I mean, there's no way for them to see.
Yeah.
But I do get confused at one point because it doesn't make sense how she would recognize him straight away.
Yeah, that is but yeah, because she won't know like what he looks like and stuff. So
yeah, but then again, she might saw a TARDIS. She might connect with him, like Sarah Jane did with David Tennant.
Yeah, and she was saying he looks really young as well.
Yeah, well, I think Matt Smith looks quite well. Again, the last one she would have saw would be Petey Capaldi, so that kind of makes sense. But she spent most of the time with Matt Smith, who was
Matt Smith was really good with River. I think there's some really funny moments Matt Smith, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally is my favorite Doctor.
Yeah. Like I feel like Doctor Who is really relatable as well in everyday life moments in the show, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, it is very relatable. The episodes hit deep. They have good morals. They have good stories. It kind of like those classic Doctor Who's, and then Doctor Who's with David Tennant and Matt Smith. I do actually get a more connection with them. The other Doctors are quite good, but I do get confused sometimes. That's only because I don't watch the whole way through. Whereas David Tennant and Matt Smith, I watched from the first episode to the last episode.
Yeah. I've got to say, my favourite episode is the girl in the fireplace.
Oh yeah, I just fetched the Queen of France or something.
Yeah, it's a really good episode. I like I really like the storyline, and it's a bit sad at the end, but
yeah,
I like the music.
I do get an Amy Pond vibe with that story because by the time we last saw her, it was too late. Matt Smith went back in time, went back in the future, and then found that he missed like 15 years of Amy Pond. Like that was a bit like it was hilarious, but man, he really did screw up there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, are you looking forward because they got the new Doctor Who announced? Like, are you looking forward to that?
I don't know who the new Doctor Who is. I'm hoping it's David Tennant, like the rumors say. But then again, and people think it won't work, but they have done this before. Tom Baker played the Curator Doctor, which is supposed to be a futuristic Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think
so they can actually work that.
Yeah, if David Tennant does come back, maybe for a couple of episodes, just to
if it's just one episode, if it's just one episode, it will still be perfect. David Tennant is amazing.
Yeah.
I think pretty much a lot of fans do agree that David Tennant's probably the best Doctor, mainly because he has like 2 or 3 seasons and everyone got used to him. His flair just seems so badass, and he also seems so emotional as well.
Yeah.
He's just amazing.
Yes. Series 4 was one of the best, I think. Series 4. It's got some really good storylines, and
I also believe they have the best master in that series as well.
Yeah, John Sim.
Yeah. Like the new master is okay, but he does seem like a child, which is quite good because the master is supposed to be like Doctor Who's opposite, so it just kind of works. But it also doesn't work in my opinion, because I do think having him as a playful evil villain is good, but you kind of don't fear him anymore because of it, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, it's something. I think maybe they should give him a break after this series, to give the master a break, or like bring back him as a good person, maybe for a
Yeah,
change.
because him being a villain again didn't really make any sense because Misty kind of redeemed herself at the end and even died by the Master's hand. You would think you wouldn't want to be a villain again, but nope, next time you see her, I'm a villain.
I do think that the new Master with Jodie is after John Sims, like the David Tennant's Master, because they're very similar in a way. The two, they're really destructive.
They are
And
very good. They're very powerful. They want to ruin. They want the Doctor to show how the world works. They want them to show their side,
yeah,
which is actually quite good. I don't understand the whole time child plot though.
yeah, that is very confusing.
Yeah, I'm like, wasn't the Doctor just a regular Time Lord that could just regenerate, or is she or he now unlimited with regenerations?
That does open up the multiverse though in Doctor Who, I think, which is why David Tennant can come back. It's really it's lots of questions. Is he going to come back as a Doctor? Is he going to come back as a Christ Doctor? So it's really
Yeah,
lots of questions out
like
there.
all I know is I only know 3 Doctors. We have the War Doctor, the Creative Doctor, and then we have the Fugitive Doctor.
Yeah, we do.
I want to know what her series is about. The Fugitive. I want to know what the Fugitive Doctor's series is about.
Yeah, it's so many Doctors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I know I'm probably gonna get some hate that I haven't mentioned this. That's my favorite companion. He's my 6th favorite one, just because I love him so much. Jack.
Yeah, Jack is
Your face of Bo.
Yeah, face of Bo. Face of Bo. Harrison, do you want to talk a little bit about, like you mentioned that you got a Doctor Who club?
Oh yes. When I was in secondary school, I made a club for lunchtime activities, and it was Doctor Who. This is where I would either bring my Matt Smith DVDs, or my friend would bring his Doctor Who DVDs, because he had like every single Doctor Who except for Matt Smith, which was quite funny actually, because I had Matt Smith. So we would bring our episode in. We would watch 1 or 2 episodes during lunch, and then sometimes we even do a quiz afterwards, like saying, "Oh, what alien species was this in this episode?" And you had to guess which alien it was. Like it could be a Savine, it could be a Dalek. But then if you don't know the alien species that well, because you only mentioned it once, you have to show how it was very entertaining and unique.
Yes, and so you don't do that anymore?
After I left secondary school, it kind of fell apart because they didn't have anyone to hold the club anymore.
Okay.
And I don't do it in college because I have to focus on my studies to get my course and my degree. So, and also there's too many clubs going around that, and my clubs got really popular. Just so it was very complicated.
Yeah, it seems fun though. Like I've never been to a Doctor Who club, so
You should make one then.
Yeah, you should, Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. So like, I feel like you said at the beginning that your autism kind of helped you with your interest in Doctor Who, and do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, it's good. A lot of people always think autism is bad, that you get attached and it kind of ruins experiences for you, but it does make it good because then you are invested with each character.
Yeah.
And as autism is never specific to one person, because it could be, you can have like different understandings, different feelings towards anything really. As long as a character is relatable by a slimmer of something, then you end up being hooked. For me, as Doctor Who, Doctor Who needs to have one thing that I find relatable. For David Tennant, his hand signals or his moving around or his catchphrases, those things I found relatable and found hilarious. Matt Smith was his jokes, his being scary but being serious. All that I found relatable because I kind of joke about all the time.
Yeah. Yes. I completely agree. There's so many relatable stuff in Doctor Who, and really relates like to autism and just everyday life, doesn't it?
Yeah. I do like the Slovene. I'm not that we haven't seen them anymore, but the Slovene was like such an interesting alien species, in my opinion.
They were, and I hope they come back because we haven't seen them for a while in Doctor Who. I know we did in Sarah Jane.
Last we saw was Sarah Jane. It wasn't even really a Slovene. It was like kind of like their twin in that planet.
Yeah, they were a bit different, weren't they, in Sarah Jane Adventures?
Yeah, and it's like it was very confusing. They're probably much worse than Slovene, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
I just remember my favorite episode of Sarah Jane. Now I just remember my favorite episode.
Yeah. Like
It's the wedding of Sarah Jane when Doctor Who shows up.
oh yeah, like they had David Tennant and Matt Smith in it,
Yeah, they
didn't
did.
they?
The Death of the Doctor, the wedding of Sarah Jane Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, such good episode. I do think the Matt Smith. I don't remember much about the Matt Smith episode because I think I kind of lost interest about it because it said Death of the Doctor, which confused me.
Okay, like you thought they were die and stuff.
But then, as for the David Tennant one, that was my favorite one because it's just Sarah Jane knows that Doctor. She recognizes him, so you get more emotional to it. Plus, in that franchise, David Tennant, Sarah Jane does actually make appearance in his series throughout the series, like in one episode. Then you see her in like David Tennant's last episode. You see him in one episode when they fight Davros. So you do kind of like see them connect around the timeline. Whereas Matt Smith, we don't ever see Sarah Jane. We don't ever see the Torchwood. So it's all that's like kind of like hidden away from Matt Smith.
Yeah, he didn't get a master as well, did he? So he didn't really.
Yeah, he didn't. Peter Capaldi got it though.
Yeah, it's crazy that, but it's crazy that Matt Smith didn't get one, but he did well without one.
Yeah, I mean, he had so many good villains. Like, don't forget, he had the Silence, which is one of my favorite aliens.
Yeah, it's really forgetful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. If you guys don't know who he is,
yeah,
maybe behind you. Look behind you. Look behind you, guys. He might be behind you.
Yeah, but I do wish the Silence to come back. It'd be nice. Like you have.
Yeah, but maybe they are back. Maybe we just can't remember them.
Maybe. I can't. I can't remember what I just said.
Well, that's gonna be. That would be terrifying. They were adding the most terrifying villains of all because as long as you look away, you're doomed.
Yeah, and I think you had the you remember the Waters on Mars for David Tennant?
Yeah,
those were pretty scary. Like those
David Tennant had the scariest aliens. David Tennant had like the scariest aliens.
He did. And
like David Tennant alone had the scariest franchise. But then Matt Smith had the most scariest villain, in my opinion. Like all David Tennant's aliens were quite scary, but Matt Smith had like the scariest and most dangerous villain, which was the Silence. Because both of them they look freaky. They were in more than one episode.
Yeah,
like, people would think that people think the Weeping Angel was scary, but all you really got to do is just get a mirror, and then they're doomed.
yeah. Like the thing with the Matt Smith from his first episode, it was the Silence will fall, wasn't it? Like from that on, so it's the whole storyline from most of his series, and they even showed up in his last episode, the Silence, didn't they?
And Clara even forgot about it. So that's how powerful they can show up, and the companion can see them, but they can't do anything about it. That's the best part about it.
Yeah, like
I did get annoyed though in that last episode of Matt Smith. You do see the Weeping Angels. I'm like, no, burn those Weeping Angels, burn them. Like I was like, no. If you get rid of Clara. By Weeping Angel, I swear I will stop watching Doctor Who the rest of my life.
yeah, and you also had the doll episode that was pretty scary with Matt Smith.
Oh, that was terrifying. Oh,
they turned into him as well.
Yeah, the hotel episode.
Yeah,
they feed on you. Oh, that was. Oh, Matt Smith does have haunting villains, but again, David Tennant ones just bone chilled you.
Yeah, and there was one episode with Peter Capaldi where. Like like where they couldn't think it, like they would feed on your brain. I think it was where if you think about the villain, like they feed on your brain and stuff. So
there's a snowman's.
I don't think they were the snowman. I can't remember what it was called.
No, that was Matt Smith, which is a snowman.
I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty scary. So they do in Doctor Who. Not much nowadays.
I do like the fact that Peter Capaldi pointed out how we are offensive to aliens because we made a whole movie called Aliens.
Yeah, that's
like no wonder we keep getting invaded. We make a whole movie called Alien.
Yeah, that is that's brilliant. He come out with that and stuff, but like
aliens. I'm sorry, aliens. We're just not smart. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, Harrison, it's been great speaking to you about Doctor Who and everything. And Autism too. But before we go, is there like a maybe a moment or a quote that you relate to in Doctor Who?
I think one of the most famous quotes that I remember, and I actually always say, is probably Allonsy, David Tennant's catchphrase,
Yeah.
because it's French for "let's go," and it only mentioned in one episode what it meant, and that episode always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So I always say Allonsy every now and then. There are episodes like I'm the Doctor, one for your life. Like I like those type of catchphrases, but it's always the Allonsy is what stuck with me.
He said it all the time, didn't he?
Yeah, it's like it was a catchphrase, and that line there just I think I do like Geronimo, but I think Allonsy is the one quote that's always stuck with me. I will always repeat.
Yeah, because you've got Fantastic for the Ninth Doctor, Allonsy for 10th, 11th Geronimo. Not sure what the 12th is.
I don't care.
No, I don't know what the 12th is, and the 13th is brilliant, I believe. But Allonsy is always like, it's what makes the 10th Doctor the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, like if you didn't say that quote, it wouldn't work.
No.
But again, I do think the most famous quote, so that's my favorite quote out of Doctor Who overall. Okay. But the quote I will find the most relatable would be Tom Baker's quote in Day of the Doctor, who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Without mentioning how the future is never clear.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did say that you may see like past faces in years to come, didn't he?
Yeah. Just some old favourites.
Yeah, and David Tennant's an old favourite, so
yeah. David Tennant, we want David Tennant, guys. Get David Tennant back. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's he's all scheduled for coming back for the 60th.
I know. Have you seen the clips of him with his new trench coat?
Yeah,
that's pretty sick. Donna's in there as well.
Yeah, Donna, the whole Noble family's in it. I
want to see how that works, because wouldn't Donna kind of break her mind by seeing him?
Yeah, that did, and I've got a couple of theories about that. Like I think from the 13th, because do you remember with the 10th Doctor, he had the fob watch, didn't he? He had the fob watch. And we see it with the 13th Doctor. She had the fob watch herself, but she has all these lost memories, and I feel like she's gonna look into the watch in her last episode, and it's all gonna flood through, and she's gonna remember. But David Tennant's face is gonna be in her mind. And I feel like when she regenerates, she'll have a glitch where she regenerates into David, and he will be he may not become the 10th Doctor, but he may become the next Doctor for a while.
Yeah, and like maybe it'll be like, oh, David Tennant did something wrong here, like Donna, like because Donna is now kind of like screwed over because of it.
Yeah.
The Doctor, David Tennant, must solve this as this face.
Yeah.
That, and maybe it will be maybe we can call it the Pure Doctor, or or the what's the word the Healing Doctor, to heal the damage he has made throughout the universe as David Tennant.
Yeah, because do you remember he said he wants to go, maybe he's coming back to realise he has to go.
Yeah.
And it may be in another universe, maybe the Metacrisis Doctor, maybe him.
Maybe it's Rose Tyler's Doctor.
Maybe because he can age, can't he?
He can age. He's now. I love that one. He's literally for Rose Tyler.
And I don't know if you know this, Harrison, but the Journey's End episode where they were all there and that, with the human Doctor. Well, there was a deleted scene, and that deleted scene was the 10th Doctor was giving the Metacrisis Doctor, the human version Donna, who went off with Rose, a piece of TARDIS, so he can grow his own TARDIS. So it could, and when Russell said that he didn't really want to delete this scene, but he did delete it just for the script and everything. But he said in the future he would love to come back to it. So it's a possibility. It could be the Metacrisis Doctor.
I was hoping that David Tennant would come. I was hoping to make like a Rose Tyler David Tennant spin-off series.
Yeah, I think
that would have been amazing. Of like literally this alternate universe with David Tennant and Rose Tyler. Just being an awesome couple, fighting the Cybermen, fighting the aliens in this planet, and just being an awesome duo. But this time, there's more stakes to it, because the Doctor can die.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. Like if they did something like that, or you could do something with Amy and Rory spin-off maybe as well, like see what happens.
Yeah, but afterwards. But I'll get too emotional knowing they've lost the Doctor, and I'll just burst into tears every time I see them. So, no.
Yeah, who knows? There might be a way to find him. Maybe that they might be trying to find the Doctor in that series.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but we know. But I think we know that they don't.
Mm,
I think.
yeah.
I mean, the fact that we know that they're not going to see the Doctor because of the gravestone is what I find heartbreaking.
Yeah, yeah. But I would like to see, like, because Rose and Thingy spin-off, but I think we will get more spin-offs once the new series starts and everything. It's
Yeah.
all exciting times. All exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Harrison, thank you for coming on to speak to me about Doctor Who and
It's my
Autism.
pleasure.
It's been great. It's been great, and I look forward to maybe doing it again sometime.
Yeah.
If you want.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully I'll be free in the future.
yeah, the fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again, Harrison.
Yep. Thank you for having me. It was a great experience for me. I love talking about Doctor Who. I love talking about my autism.
Yes, it's been awesome, Harrison. Thank you again.